future Joe.
What? I'm rich! I'm rich!
Yes. What up, buddy? It's your buddy money, Joe. Wait, what? Today I'm gonna tell you about one of my favorite money tips that I live by. It has helped my finances tremendously, and I believe it can help yours too. This tip is called paying yourself first. And in my humble opinion, I think this should be one of your top financial rules to live by. This rule has been around for a long time. It's been mentioned in tons of financial videos and tons of really great financial books out there. But you're my audience, and you guys are special. I don't know if you've even ever heard of this concept before. I don't know how new you are in your financial game. And it never hurts to be reminded of good advice. I wanna make sure that you guys know these tips so that you and I can ultimately reach our goal of financial freedom. So paying yourself first basically means that you put your money towards your future self, and then with what's left over, you put towards your wants and your needs. This is opposite of most people's financial strategies, where they pay the bills, pay for entertainment, pay other people, pay for the necessities, and pay for a bunch of stuff they don't need. And then with what's left over, they prioritize towards saving, which most of the time ends up being nothing. It's easy to say,
"Oh, I got plenty of time. I'll just save in the future."
But as you get deeper into the real world, you'll find more and more reasons to push those savings back. You'll wanna go on a fun trip with friends. You gotta pay for this random surgery you gotta have. Or you just don't make enough money. Investing for your future is one of the most important things that you can do with the money that you earn. And your future self will definitely thank you for it.
Yeah.
So the sooner that you can develop this as a habit, the better chance that you have at financial success. It is so empowering seeing your savings grow and grow, and it can be an awesome motivator. And the money that you save up will definitely help you be prepped for any emergencies that may hit you in life. The pay yourself first concept is kind of like budgeting in reverse. And it's a low maintenance way to budget, especially when you compare it to zero-based budgeting, which is kind of where you have to nerd out and you have to meticulously plan where every single little bit of your money goes to so that eventually at the end of the month, your end amount is zero. With the pay yourself first method, you don't have to categorize any of your expenses, and you don't have to keep a detailed record of your spending. This is so freaking awesome for people who hate budgeting, people like me. Even though I am a money nerd, I hate getting into the nitty-gritty of where my money goes after I save and invest. My wife and I are very natural savers, especially after we've kind of developed a minimalist mindset over the years to consumerism and where we spend our money. But even for the most minimalist of us all, we still have to budget, unfortunately. But with this concept, it makes budgeting so much easier. The paying yourself first concept is one of our main rules in our budgeting structure in my household. And it has brought so much financial peace to how we spend our money. If our saving and our investing is covered and we can live off the rest of it, then that's awesome. So how do you figure out how much to save? So the average that Americans save is about 7.6% of their income, which if they invested that into the market at an average of 7% return, And for the example, let's consider that you have a $42,000 a year salary. Well, that means that you can retire in about 45 years. Not too bad, I guess, if you start at 20 years old, and then you can be done at 65, which a lot of times is the target retirement age. But if that person instead invested 20% of their yearly income, then they can retire about 13 years sooner. You guys can play with your own percentages for your income in a compound calculator. In the description, you can find a link to an app that I like to use and a website that I like to use so that you can do your own calculations. A good way to figure out how much money you need in retirement is to use the 25 times rule. So figure out what your living expenses are, or just how much you want to live on per year in retirement. So you take that number and you multiply it times 25. So for example, if you want to live on $40,000 a year, you'll simply multiply that $40,000 by 25 and you should get $1 million. So if you can get $1 million, then it can generate $40,000 a year. For me, that is my own personal goal right now. And I am trying to reach it by the time I'm 40 years old, which means in my calculations that I should be saving over 50% of my income. You guys don't have to do that. Everyone's different. Just figure out what age you want to retire by. There's no one right amount that someone can live on a year. Everyone has their own preferences, their own ways of living, and your percentage is unique to you. So after you figure out how much money you need to be saving a month, now we need to know where to put this money. The first place I recommend is to make sure that you fill your emergency fund. You want your emergency fund to be liquid where you can pull it out in case of an emergency. So I recommend putting it into an online savings account so you can at least earn some decent interest. Next, after you fund your emergency account, now let's destroy any high interest debts that you may have. That includes credit cards and loans that charge interest rates over 5%. It is highly unlikely that you're gonna make back in the market what the credit card companies are charging you guys in interest. Knock those things out. Man, I'm getting some slash action with the sun here. Just like you should slash up that debt. Next, I recommend putting your money into some sort of retirement account like a 401k or a Roth IRA. Now, if your company that you work for offers a 401k and also offers a match on your money, make sure you maximize that match because that is a 100% gain on your money. After getting that match, maybe consider opening up an IRA because within an IRA, most of the time you're able to get more options to invest in, and most of the time, some of those options are a lot better than what your employer offers within a 401k. And within these accounts, they will grow tax-free, which means super savings for your financial future and less money in Uncle Sam's pockets. Next, if you're considering retiring well before the age of 60, then I would recommend opening up a taxable brokerage account. That way you can pull money out earlier than what you can in your retirement accounts because you won't be getting penalized on early withdrawals. Also, you can consider investing into real estate, which if you can start getting some monthly rent from potential tenants, then you can start generating income every single month. Guys, my arm is getting so freaking hot. I'm gonna shift the camera a little bit. Otherwise, this arm is gonna be insanely tan and this arm is gonna be white as an albino alligator's butt. Whew, that's better. And to help your saving be as passive as possible, you can set up automatic transfers from bank accounts to investment accounts, or depending on who you're employed with, oftentimes you can actually have a portion of your paycheck sent directly to certain bank accounts or investment accounts. And don't feel like you have to go full force right away saving 20% or greater. Just starting out with as little as 5% is an awesome start. Don't run before you can even walk.
I said, what are you doing running? And you're saying it was really good out?
It's the perfect texture for running. Very low impact on its dry snow so your feet don't get wet.
Sledding, just enjoying it. One thing, oops, that can happen.
Just start with some baby steps and then you can up your savings rate over time. Build up the super sexy financial muscles. Here's a list of some awesome books that talk about this concept in depth. I have links in the description to a lot of these books on Amazon, but for one of my favorites, The Richest Man in Babylon, I also have a link to a free PDF copy of the book in the description below. Guys, please comment down below and tell me what you think of this rule. Tell me about your financial journey. Tell me about your wins, your losses. I want to hear it all. Do you guys have any tips for me? I'm in this financial game too. I'm still trying to figure stuff out. If you want to keep up with all the latest stock market news out there, I have a link in the description to BREW. This is a newsletter that I found, and they're not paying me anything to do this, but I just love them. When you sign up with them, it's free, and they send you newsletters to your email summing up all the stock market news. It's condensed very well, and it's even entertaining. Also, if you want to get started with your own investing journey, I have links in the description below to Robinhood and Webull, where you can sign up and get some free stocks. If you found any sort of advice helpful in this video, please consider the like button for the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing and tapping that notification bell so that you can be notified of future money-related videos. Until next time, see you later, buddy.